I was on an apartment tour a few weeks ago, and the person giving a tour asked if I had any pets, and I said no, but I would love a cat at some point. So she was telling me like the monthly fees and like the deposit it would take to have an animal, and she said cats are much easier to get approved as your like emotional support animal. And I said, that's great because I have a lot of issues. I did not move forward with that apartment. I would probably put something like existential artist.
Okay.
I think my existential nature as a filmmaker comes through in like the types of projects I work on. One of the first films I did in school had to do with a character in her 70s and a character, in her early 20s coming together and not knowing each other and having to go on this road trip together.
Tinder? It's a dating app.
Oh, like eHarmony.
So I'm really interested in those intergenerational stories because I think the trope is that, young people learn from old people and that's just how it works. But I think everyone learns from everyone. I've always been aware of like the finite nature of time and experiences and relationships. And so I'm certainly an overthinker too, so I really think through every decision, every moment I spend, the people I surround myself with. When you're someone that forms close relationships, that has some challenges too, because you know that you won't be able to hold on to those forever. I have a few memories when I was younger, young enough to still be sleeping in my parents' room, and I would wake up in the middle of the night and check to see are they still breathing? Like at birthdays, when I would blow out the candles, I would wish for like all my friends and family to live forever. As a child, your fears should be things like that won't happen, like a monster under your bed. But my fears were like very much grounded in what actually will happen or could happen. I developed a few different forms of OCD, so that can manifest in a lot of different ways and is all connected to anxiety and depression. So the same chemicals that cause OCD are probably still in my brain for anxiety and depression. So when you learn to manage something, it usually helps with other things that are connected in your life. My fears as a child of, parents growing older or facing health issues, when that became reality, I think that was probably the hardest. The main thing is that I have a lot of really good people in my life. So even if I'm feeling, feelings of depression or uncertainty or anxiety, I have a really wonderful family and an amazing friend group that's very supportive and really knows me well. Additionally, when I was younger, I was introduced to therapy for unrelated things in my brain. Got a lot going on up here. But I think normalizing that from a pretty young age, like, 10 or 11 years old, I don't know how old I was, I think allowed me to process feelings and know that there were ways to feel better. I think like the existential feelings that I experience can hold me back in moments when I'm like, maybe take a little bit too much time to decide on a direction in my life or something to commit to, or the fear of, going down the wrong path in my life. But I would say outside of those moments, it mostly propels me forward because the bright side of, an existential brain is that you don't want to waste time. So following my road trip film, Driving Louise, I stayed friends with the actor Bonnie, and she's about to turn 80. I got to know her better, and I was really fascinated that she began acting in her 70s, and that was really inspiring to me, especially that part of my brain that feels kind of rigid and a little bit worried and overthinking, you know, she proves that you can change your path at any time. You can try something new, you can learn, and you can grow older, and it doesn't have to be scary. Asked her if she'd be comfortable doing a documentary. That documentary, I Am Louise, just won Best Documentary at Atlanta Women's Film Festival, and we're waiting to hear back from some others around the country. I think 8-year-old Isaac also taught me to just move forward uninhibited. You know, not to be afraid to be outside of a box, you know, just be in my own category and really own that and have fun doing it. I think when you're younger, you do still have a lot on your mind, just like you do when you're an adult, but the things on your mind, for the most part, are more just like things right in front of you. And as I've gotten older, the things in my mind become more broad and like far into the future. And so I don't think I would tell my younger self anything because I know he would figure it out, and I don't think he needs my help.